basically last podcast we were just looking for something to talk about, so we tweeted out. We asked people to chime in and just give their hot frisbee takes, and we had a few that we talked about. But then since we did that, we had a ton more people give some more. And I think there are at least a couple I'd be interested to hear y'all's opinions on. And I guess Sam's pulling it up, but yeah, I think we're thinking of maybe splitting these episodes and doing like 2 parts because they tend to run a little bit long. But this could be kind of like our back half type of situation. But
feel free to stay on and react to some hot takes. But if you have to go, also, it's totally fine.
Yeah, we don't want to take up too much of y'all's time.
Yeah, this has been truly miserable, actually.
We actually get that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
we've had no repeat guests except for Sasha. And
we just drink beer with him. So
yeah.
I love Sasha.
Sasha's great.
Yeah, so do we.
Have you guys gotten a hug from him yet?
Oh, what?
Mm-mm.
A hug.
Oh no.
I haven't met him in person.
I've never seen him in person. He seems like a great hugger.
He is.
S tier hugs for sure.
S tier hugs. We should do a hug tier list.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we'll hit a point in this off season where we'll have absolutely nothing to talk about, and that we can fall back on the hug tier list.
Somehow frisbee Twitter, like there's always something to talk about. Even the slightest things, people get upset or not upset. Or, yeah. It has been a great source of entertainment. And like y'all said, it seemed like we showed up overnight. Like I literally did. Like I made my Twitter like a few months ago, and it was like, whoa.
We started at like week 3 or 4 of the season. We didn't even cover the whole. We did an awards podcast, and one of the awards was like dumbest play. And like we gave it to, I think
it was the
was it Nut stepping out of bounds?
No.
Oh, I think we gave it to Soul versus
that's right.
They just let him walk in.
Yeah, but after we posted that, I think it was like Daniel Cohen was like, how about this one time during like week 1? I don't even remember what the play was, but it was like really dumb, and it was something that none of us had ever seen because we started doing our podcast during week 3.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw our documentary about who is Jimmy Mickle. If you haven't, it's pretty good. It's very in depth, but basically the premise is that since we started covering the AUDL week 3 of this year, we don't know who this guy is because he didn't play in the AUDL this year. So we interviewed a bunch of,
but now
we think know him. And they
but
gave
now
us
we've rebranded. Now we have to pretend like we know what Club Ultimate is.
Yeah. Well, at the time,
should we bring her the professional?
Jimmy Mickle was my first frisbee crush, actually.
Really?
When I was back playing YCC.
Oh, let's get into that. What is it exactly? He is also someone who looks like he would give good hugs.
It was like 2017. There's a picture. I took a picture with him at our hotel. I was so stoked.
Well, was he there for the US Open, I guess?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I think I remember you. I think I remember seeing that tweet actually, now that you mention it. But that's pretty funny. I guess it's safe to say you've moved on.
I have moved on. The feeling wasn't mutual. I was like, well, unless he's hiding a secret love for me, then I don't know.
If we ever get him on the podcast, we'll ask him. He has to acknowledge that we exist first.
Yeah, he won't reply to us, so somebody needs to give us his phone number.
Yeah. He gave us the cold shoulder in
everyone
has Instagram DMs.
Yeah, really hard to get. I've experienced it, you know.
As it compared to Sasha?
Hugs?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Sasha wins for sure. I don't think I hugged Jimmy. It was a side hug for the picture.
Okay.
Inconclusive, I would say. Inconclusive.
For science, I'll hug Jimmy next time I see him.
Sounds good. I think we all should.
Too. We'll make it happen. We'll use our connections.
Sam, do you have the tweets ready to go?
Yeah, so I pulled up our tweet and we can look through these. Some of these don't sorry. Some of them I feel like we talked about already, but maybe it's just like I looked at them, so
I think we may have given some opinions on all of them, but I think we just let Aubrey and Kira just kind of go for it. We talk too much anyway.
So. You want to zoom in? My eyes are terrible.
Yes. You mean you don't want the what's happening inside?
Dude, Millie Bobby Brown says Enola Holmes 2 made her afraid of Stranger Things.
Oh, it still says Ringer the AUDL. Our name is wrong.
Oh yeah, we got to rebrand. We'll do that.
We need a blue check mark, man.
Is anyone certified on Frisbee Twitter?
Anthony Nunez.
I was looking around. Yeah,
I don't know why, but
yeah, Nunez is.
It's because
Marquez Brownlee.
Yeah.
Oh,
that guy.
I think Nunez is. We were talking to him about it. I think Nunez is because Marquez follows him. So when
and Obama follows him
for some reason.
What?
Follows What?
Wait, is Obama's Twitter one of those things where he follows like 100,000 people?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
A little less cool.
Okay, but does he follow you? Does he follow Ringer the Ultimate?
No.
It's just like their intern is just like following random people.
Okay. Maybe Nunez is a close personal friend. We don't know.
True.
Yeah, why don't we? I think these first two kind of can be lumped into each other because the first one's just about talking out fouls, and then the next one's about self-officiating versus getting refs. How do y'all feel about that debate? Do you think there should be refs in higher level ultimate, or do you like the deliberating? I mean, how do y'all feel?
I think there's another reply under this where like you have to like make out to see who wins the foul call, and I think that would be really interesting. I think a lot of people would resolve calls quicker, but I would personally love refs. But yeah.
I think Clara really brought up good points about like how important it is to have refs, and I really liked her like tweets about it. I don't know if you guys saw Claire Stewart's, but I think at the higher level too, especially, I mean, if we want the sport to grow, we have to like kind of push towards feeling like other professional real sports. So I don't know, emulating those will help us push towards that direction, I think.
Yeah, I think refs are definitely the move. During nationals, I had one of my coworkers plays for double wide, so we had my entire office like get together and watch his game, and nobody had ever seen an ultimate frisbee game, and their biggest complaint was like, why are they just standing around? It was like between points during like, because there was no announcers because it was on one of the field pass games. They're like, what's going on? And I'm trying to like say like, well, I think it's a travel call, it might be a fall, and like or foul, and like I think just refs in general, just to make the game go faster and just so there's less arguing.
I think too, I really hope the WL implements this rule, but I really hope it's observer counted 7-second stall, because 7-second stall counted by a player is like 5 seconds. Like there were so many stalls called. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Helen Eifert said that there is probably going to be another year of just training our observers better, and seeing if that actually helps this year, where they're stalling in their head versus out loud towards the game. But because that was a thing of the observers saying that they weren't well trained enough. So we're hoping that this year it'll be a little bit different. But and then she said the next year we can go towards the observer counting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about crab rangoon?
Delicious. Love it.
Rangoon. That TikTok call. Anyone else see those TikToks? I swear, she's on my. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea.
I cannot go on that app. It hurts my
Yeah.
brain.
I have not installed Twitter. I spend way too much time on Twitter and Instagram. If I had TikTok, no, bad.
Okay, well, that was not embarrassing at all. Then
Is it like a Peach fan club thing that we don't know about?
it's our secret call in the club. But-
All right. Any of these? One of these about club players
I like
moving to
this.
the dead disc.
This Ross Barker one,
Yeah, I like it too.
You know, the when there's a dead disc, I love the WL this year. They just counted down like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we were unfrozen. And I really liked that rule instead of just standing still until the call is resolved.
Yeah, like everyone could move, and except for the person with the disc couldn't fake.
Yeah,
But it was nice 'cause it's
that was a
like,
little trippy. Happened once to me, and I was like, wait, what do I do?
I like it.
I think it was really helpful because it's like when a call was called back like 3 throws, and you're like, I have no idea where I was, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod, Cam Brock agrees.
Love to see that.
My homie Cam, let's go.
Who's the do you guys know who the WUL leading goal scorer is? The WUL counterpart to Cam Brock?
Was it Sam Rodenberg, if I had to guess?
I don't recall.
Okay, we'll have to look into that.
I think it's
our
probably
R&D on it.
On Tempest.
Oh, well, those don't count. Tempest goals don't count.
There's our check mark, Anthony Nunez.
Yeah.
Check mark king.
Friend of Obama.
Friend of Obama, friend of the pod.
Does that make us Obama a friend of the pod by the transitive property?
No.
Yeah,
Friend adjacent, but
he's a friend of the pod.
Yeah. Love it.
Oh, this one was interesting. We talked about this one last time, but
I don't think any of us liked it, but it was a good conversation.
yeah, what do y'all think? So it's a team can reject an observer ruling a certain number of times a game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
We didn't like the idea, but it was something I'd never heard before.
Yeah, no, that's definitely new. Go for
I
it.
don't think it'll be good.
It's a wrinkle, but it makes no sense to me because like the point of observers is to be impartial. So if you're objecting the impartial ruling, you're saying that you're not being
Yeah.
My issue is that I think it incentivizes fouling. Like you could foul and then not let them bring it to the observer. So I don't know.
Yeah, especially if you have like time, if you use it to your advantage with like timed games. So
right.
Yeah, true.
that's
I think this next one is new. We didn't see that last week.
Yeah,
Picks should be allowed.
Picks should be allowed.
Oh, this one is
That would-
interesting.
That would cause.
agree.
I mean, like,
I agree
You
completely.
agree?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, it's you kind of laugh at it as like an idea, but it's not unlike basketball. Like it would just change how defense works. I think it's kind of interesting.
I think it just
Granted, I'm an O-line player 110%, so that checks out. But
Yeah. What's your kind of rationale, Aubrey?
I think honestly, I just get tired of picks where like those points that it's like pick. And so I'm like, get over yourselves. It like most people call picks like more than the 10 yards anyways. So
Right.
Yeah.
I would just rather get rid of it completely.
This is a dumb question, but is it 10 yards or is it 10 feet?
I don't know.
I think it's 10 feet.
Is it
Either
10
way,
feet.
it's 10
Yeah.
feet. Yeah, which is not like if you look at actually 10 feet, like it's a lot
Yeah, it's
closer
like,
than you
you
think.
got to
it
be
is.
like guarding them.
Yeah,
exactly. I think that's to Aubrey's point where like people always call it like further than 10 feet.
yeah. Like most of the time, I feel like it's called like further than 10 feet, and there's no recourse for if someone because like play stops, and then it's like were you within 10 feet, and it's like that's not even really. Yeah, it's stupid, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure if we had some D-line players on, they would totally disagree. But
I think just like a
We
lot.
only talk to O-line. We only talk
Yeah.
to O-line
Yeah.
players.
I'm a no-line player now. I think that picks should be allowed because I played basketball before this and I love picks. So, and Goldie is so fun with picks. So,
Plus, I
Yeah.
think it would be really interesting in mix because like picks in the single gendered divisions, I feel like you can do switches better on defense, but mixed would be a little more chaotic, and I would love to see that.
yeah, we
I love
need more
chaos.
chaos than mixed. OBS,
Yes,
are you kidding me?
absolutely.
No, we don't.
Actually- Especially like if a team is like an offense is running with a lot of picks and you just transition into a zone and so it becomes less effective. Like, I just feel like that's kind of like an interesting concept to try to run a defense that would be able to work around picks.
it would change the game a ton. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I'm
Stop
interested.
being such a Puritan.
He's
It's a
not
cool
in an
idea.
emotional place or emotionally right place to.
Yeah,
see.
I got to figure some things out emotionally before I'm ready for that. Yeah, let's move on to unspirited end zone celebrations. I think we're all for that, you know.
Yeah, especially tasteless ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Chore-
think
yeah.
there needs to be more choreographed end zone celebrations. I don't think
I feel like if it's choreographed, it can't be unspirited or tasteless. That's just impossible. It's just good.
What do we think
I
about this?
just posted one that Syracuse did, and it was like a bench press one. It was really cool. I
I
liked
saw
it.
that.
Did you see it? Yeah.
I'm expecting some choreographed celebrations out of the Alpenglow team this year. Big things.
Ooh, I am not creative, so.
Oh, all right. The
Hopefully-
wild then. I expect it out the
All right,
wild.
cool.
We're expecting it out of both is really the
Only
answer.
if I get bumped up a tier for it.
Oh yeah.
If you guys
Easily.
do a
That's the
choreograph, you're
easiest
going to
way to
S.
get.
Yeah.
Deal.
That's the easiest way to get straight to the top.
You don't even have to win.
Yeah.
You could win one game again, but you do good celebrations.
You know what, Joe? We're fighting. We got.
Oh.
I just said we'll bump you up.
Not say that.
Love it. Love the beef. Okay, so we've got keep it a no contact sport, but let players get in fist fights. How do we feel about this
Absolutely.
one?
Yes.
We're pro.
in.
Love it.
I feel like it should be the opposite, where like people have like boxing gloves on the sidelines that they got to throw onto the field. So then you put gloves on, so you don't like hurt your throwing hand, but you can still like knock someone out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, maybe
we're on the same page.
it should be like you can allow picks, but if someone picks you, you can just tackle them.
Yeah, you can just run through them.
Yeah,
This one's new, actually. I think I don't think we talked about this one, but eliminate the stall count altogether.
Cool.
I don't
Daniel.
know. I feel like there'd
That
have to be a
is-
shot clock at that point. Like you can do that, but there has to be a shot clock. That could be interesting.
Ooh,
I don't know.
shot clock.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting. No stall count, but a shot clock.
I like the shot clock idea.
well, how long of a shot clock do you think is appropriate?
No
think
idea.
I think like 45 to a minute.
Yeah.
I feel like it would. I think it would have to depend on how windy it was. If there's more wind, like there's an actual, like you're seeing the measurements on the sideline, and you get more
Yeah.
time versus like a calm day. It would be
It's
like
over 16 miles per hour per a specific weather forecasted. Or we
Yeah.
we get weather gauges and we bring them on the sideline.
Yes.
And like
absolutely.
mid game we change the shot clock.
Yes.
Or what if like shot clock like was activated at a certain point on the field? Like you pass like a certain yardage.
Ooh,
Right, like a
I think that'd be
like after
red
half.
zone clock or something.
yeah.
I like it.
That's
Like-
actually really interesting.
Down shot clock would be cool.
I would also just love to hear Lepler calling a game, and he's like, "And there it is, 16 miles an hour of wind. Shot clock goes up."
You know, everyone should have like a propeller hat, and like how fast they're spinning
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my
dictates.
Let's get
I
on
think
our
that'd be
merch
fun too. We could see who's actually the fastest person on the field at one time. So that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
Ooh.
and then you could actually measure the speed of the thing, so you could be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, like Aubrey's out there with like 60 RPMs on her beller.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
While
amazing.
backpedaling too, it'd be great.
Oh, classic.
I think this one we talked about, but we all kind of agree with, especially in the AUDL, just make overtime more exciting, change it to like college football style or something a variation of this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I'd be down with that.
yeah.
I think, yeah, for the AUDL, I agree.
Not for WUL.
No, I would like that too.
Okay, cool.
We
Yeah,
also
sorry.
talked about instead of like starting at the 5 and like having to score, it's like starting at the 5 and you have 10 seconds and it's one throw. And if you score, you keep moving back or whatever.
Sure.
I like that.
Word.
All right, moving on. We talked about this last time. We all thought that Josh should be a school center handler.
Yeah.
Tell
The
him
best way
that,
to learn, just get thrown into the deep end. So let's go.
tell Josh that there's an assistant coach position open at Alpenglow. He can apply for that now.
Oh, that's a great point.
Well, he should be head coach. If like he should go for center handler means he can be a head coach.
True.
That is true.
I heard front of the stack as intern, center handler as head coach.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think this kid goes to my old high school because that's my high school coach who responded to him.
That's amazing.
Love it. So we see, I'm excited to talk about this one. I guess we see a lot of like spirit of the game talk on Frisbee Twitter. So this person's suggesting we tear it down, start from the beginning. It's racist and encourages unsportsmanlike behavior. It was intended to prevent. I have a lot of thoughts on that. I mean, I'm not sure how deeply we want to get into that, but how do y'all feel about like where spirit of the game is at, and observers enforcing like people like that came up a lot when we were in college, like an observed game, and then they would tell us not to say the F word, and it was like, what are we doing here? Like, what's the point? I'm curious to see what y'all's thoughts are.
I don't know. I think that spirit of the game, I don't know. This is I know it can be such a dicey topic. I like spirit of the game. I think from the experiences I've had, it's just promoted like good sportsmanship.
Right.
In general. I don't know. I'm nervous to address some of the things that they say.
Yeah, Ailu, why don't you expand?
I guess. Yeah. Well, I guess I wasn't super prepared to launch into that, but yeah, I don't know. I think like policing language and stuff and like behavior. I don't think we're really checking like what type of language and what type of behavior we're like propping up as like the best or the proper way to talk and behave. And I feel like it's kind of excludes a lot of different ways to express yourself that is often tied to race and class. And I think if we want to make the sport more inclusive, I don't think it's, the best, the way it is right now isn't necessarily the most inclusive. So yeah, I don't know. I think I have some issues with it in that regard. So, but I agree. I think it's part of what drew me into Frisbee in the first place. Also, at the same time, like I was part of I played baseball in high school and it was pretty toxic, and Frisbee was like definitely a breath of fresh air. So, I think it has a lot going for it, but it also I think it does need to be retooled, especially as it grows and more people of color are involved in the sport and are voicing issues with it. So yeah, I guess that's kind of where I stand on that. But
okay, I think that now that you like explain that better, I definitely agree with that. And I think a lot of teams have been like during COVID, a lot of teams have been doing a lot of like behind the scenes work in other political and social issues. And I think that like hopefully that will help create better team culture and understanding of some like current issues that could maybe like preventing an all-inclusive environment in our sport, you know? So I definitely am for like rebuilding, and I think that a lot of teams, I know that when I was with Schwa, like we really made it a big point to like educate ourselves more on different issues, and I think that was super helpful for sure.
Word, yeah, that's definitely cool to hear. Yeah, I don't know. We don't have to harp on it too much. I guess I wasn't super prepared to launch into that, but yeah, I don't know. Any other thoughts on that?
I'm always so spirit of the game was always told to me like just good sportsmanship, and and so I didn't initially, especially like on Twitter, like I didn't see what people were like harping about, because I started playing frisbee in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is very, very white, and also I've been very privileged to be a pretty good player from the start, and so I don't see a lot of adversity that other players have gone through, and so I've found this discussion super interesting. I'm absolutely down for a rebuild, but I'm continually learning about this. It's very interesting. Everyone's point of views that I see on Twitter a lot. So,
yeah. If I guess I'd like to invite anyone, if anyone's listening right now, you know, and if you have any thoughts, please let us know. We're always down to listen to folks' opinions in the comments and stuff too. But you're gonna say something, Joe?
No, I was just gonna agree with you. Say it was a good comment by Patrick. Led to a good discussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this discussion could be like an episode to itself. To give a sillier take on it and get away from the seriousness. So Joe and I invented this drinking game called Common Courtesy. And this wasn't really intentional, but as we like created it and went through the rules, like a lot of it is based on well, I mean, it's called Common Courtesy, so a lot of it is about being courteous to your opponent, and you know, not trying to bend the rules or violate them in any way. And then as I started introducing the game to more people, they were like, well, why don't you just like cheat? And then I was like, no, like you're not supposed to. It's like the rule is you're supposed to, you know, respect the game and respect
not
the fun.
cheat, yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, oh well, I'll just cheat, and then I'll use the rule where you're allowed to be like,
No,
that was super my bad. So I'll just cheat and then say that was super my bad, and then it's fine. And it's like I get what people are going through with this, you know, frisbee thing, because people were violating my my intentions for how how the game should be respected.
Jesus. Lordy.
I like this one. Ban the hammer.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
the hammer.
We made shirts
know
called with Ban the Hammer, right?
And the hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to our merch store if you want.
Merch blood. Go buy a shirt that says "Ban the Hammer."
Shane won 3 games at regionals on a hammer throw for the last point, so we will not be taking that.
Yeah, we can't tell Maryland to stop throwing hammer.
Oh God.
Sounds like kind of a Tempest situation there. Take those points back.
Whoa,
Ban the
whoa,
hammer. Ban the hammer.
Whoa, whoa.
Joe, this is why we're fighting. I'm telling you.
That's fair. That was a mean comment. I should never compare anyone to the Tempest.
Oh, this is interesting. What do you think of a pro mixed league, since you play club mixed? Yeah,
I think it'd be fun, but I think it'd be so chaotic.
Yeah, that's the point, Kayak. Jesus.
I'm used to structure. I wasn't prepared for the chaos.
it'll be professionally chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it would be super sick. I've said it, you know, when we've talked about it before, but I want to watch this league, you know. I hope it happens one day, but I'm also like just a person just watching Frisbee, but y'all have kind of played professional women's, you've played very high level mixed. I mean, I think you would have some really good thoughts on this.
One thing is with the AUDL All-Star game, they're doing an 8-on-8 mixed game. How do you guys feel about mixed being 8-on-8 and also on a bigger field like an AUDL field?
If we kept the same field size, I'd rather it go to 6v6, but
Really?
8v8 with a bigger field would be fun for sure.
Why 6v6?
I personally can't change direction to save my life, and so I like running in straight lines, and I'm really good at it. So that's my
personal. Okay.
I'm excited to see the 8v8 game. I think it would be cool. I don't know. I thought it was really fun to watch the World Games, watching mixed there at like the high level. I don't know. I think a pro mixed league would be actually really, really cool.
Yeah. Also, for in all seriousness, for 8v8 versus 6v6, I think it would be easier for players to be hidden for 8v8, and history shows that would be female matching players. But 6v6, I think, would create more well-rounded players and less space for hiding on the field.
That's a good point.
That is a good point. I guess if you had the choice to play in a pro mixed league versus a pro women's league, like which would you prefer? Like if you had to just decide right now.
Right now, I'd say mixed.
As someone who runs in straight lines, you like the men who can throw it deep.
Yes, exactly. No, and I've only ever had 2 terrible mixed experiences, and I realize it's not the norm, and that's really sad to me. But yeah, no, I just know the game better versus women's, but that's just my personal. I'm sure Kayak would say the opposite because she's always like women. So
I'm picking women's right now today.
Yeah.
I say we go 10v10, bigger field, 2 discs.
Oh,
2 discs. Yes, I'm down for 2 discs for sure.
Go big or go home. I don't know.
Who says no? Who says
I would
no?
love to unpack that in a bonus episode.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna work with 2 discs, but
I'll draw it up. Don't worry.
all right, sounds good. I expect to see a huge Twitter thread tomorrow.
We skip it. What was in this tier list that we're skipping?
Oh, Chili's.
Chili's.
Oh,
Chili's is S tier.
After tourney.
I think it was after tourney restaurants.
I mean, they have the cheap drink, cheap food.
I don't know if Chili's would go S for me. I don't know about that, but
I know
the entire team there. That was
Kayak.
In the prompt where like you're not waiting like 5 hours for 30 people to eat type thing.
That's
so
fair.
Chili's was the quickest option at least.
I don't know if
makes
you
sense.
guys have ever played in the Southeast, but there's this pizza place called Momo's in Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh god, that
That
place
is
is so good.
It's perfect for post Frisbee tournaments. They specialize in like gigantic pizzas, and they sell like pizza by the slices that are like a large pizza.
You can get 8 people on
that
like
you
one.
a really cool restaurant called Kava. I think that's like good for.
I love Kava.
All right, we weren't gonna get through this without at least one mention.
I'm surprised we went this long. Actually,
I was gonna say that too.
I was gonna ask. I knew that was coming.
I love Kava.
I'm so close to a sponsorship. I feel it in my bones. I have to.
I believe in you.
We'll get
It's
you
a good
there.
restaurant.
While we're on
fan.
the Twitter takes, your 2 Twitter thread about bad pictures and bad faces, I think that was my favorite thread. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
And it just kept getting better and better.
The scary part is I have way more content.
Wow. Excited to see how far that goes. There was I think it was the second one. It was the first like reply I was like, how can this be topped? And then it just kept going.
I love the GIF. The GIF that went along with the picture was great.
Reggie.
My friend Caitlin like made that like pretty much during the game, like before the game was even finished, and I like went and checked my phone after our game and like saw this GIF, and I was like, "Are you okay?" Well, look like an
attacked out here.
Love it.
How about this? Let's pick one more, and we could wrap it up after that, or maybe two. I mean,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, what, one or two. Because one would just force us to like pick the best one.
That's a lot of pressure.
There's so many. Stall on screen for ADL streams. I mean, that's a technological.
Okay. They can't even do the game clock correctly. They're not going to be able to do.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, need to get the disc back after a Callahan. I think that's a must. Like ADL, WL, just add that rule. So like, if you score a Callahan, you now receive the disc.
I'm into that.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
like
I didn't realize the wording.
And now you're on O. And now you're on O again.
Gotcha. Okay, got it.
Because I think Callahans are so rare, but so cool. Like in the pro leagues, there should be some caveat. It's kind of like a safety in football.
I kind of like that.
Right, because like a Callahan is so remarkable, but it's just right as it stands right now. It's just like any. It's as if you just dished it to someone in the end zone. You know, it's like the same outcome. So, I'm all for it. I think it's cool.
It's like the closest thing to like getting a 2-pointer, basically.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
And it's not a guaranteed 2-pointer. You just get to go and O again.
And maybe because I feel like when people get Callahans, like it's not as hyped. Like people don't get as hyped as you would expect.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I'm still
here's
processing that we just got scored on, even though we're on O. It's very weird, but it's like a delayed reaction for me.
yeah.
All right. That's all we got for replies. So we can go with Sasha pointing out that he's never been skied by Jeff Babbitt.
All right.
Have either of you ever been skied by Jeff Babbitt?
I have not.
But one time I skied Nick Lance, and so that's pretty cool.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's badass.
I got him very drunk before the game. It was really cool.
That's a good move.
So you liquored up Nick Lance.
Yeah.
Just to sky him. That's awesome.
Yeah. There's also photo evidence. I can find it. I'll tweet it again tomorrow.
Ooh, I would love to see that.
Before we wrap, I'd kill myself if I didn't do this. Does Shame need like
that's brutal?
Why did you
not kill myself?
that?
That was an exaggeration. Bad speech play. Let me start over. What I'm trying to say is I would love to play on Shame if you guys are looking for like a pickup all-star, someone who's not in the best shape.
Ryan throws hammers.
I throw hammers, great breakthrows. Like
and he'll kill himself.
Great.
Please cut that. That in the year 2022. I don't want to. I slipped the tongue.
No, Shame's all about vibes, and I'm not getting the best vibe right now from you. That's a no for me.
No pressure. No pressure.
And I was spirit captain of Shame, so like I'm the one that makes those decisions. So
I said I'd kill myself if I didn't ask, and I asked, so we're all good.
All right.
Rumor has it we're having actual tryouts in 2023, so maybe you could come.
You're having actual tryouts?
Possibly.
Nice.
Rumor has it.
I got cut by Sweet Action this year, so
we'll see. Okay, all right.
But they also cut like everyone because they're lame, so whatever.
We'll try out for Love Tractor, get cut by Love Tractor, and that's how you get on Shame, actually, is getting cut by Love Tractor. No joke. We've had 7 people over the years be cut by Love Tractor, and then we beat Love Tractor every year. It's great.
Yeah.
Wow. Love that. Well, thanks for coming on, y'all. It's been great to actually meet you in person as opposed to interacting and passing on Twitter. And thanks for lending us your time and providing us some of your analysis on these hot takes. And we're super stoked to start following the W. That's a bit of a mouthful. WUL. Super excited to start following that. So yeah, thanks for coming on. helping us launch into that era for our podcast.
Any closing thoughts you want to tell our thousands of, well, no, we don't have thousands, but our some subscribers
dozens
that
We have
actually watch till the
triple
end.
digit YouTube subscribers. We just
It's
hit
like
100.
Anthony Nunez and Cam Brock and like a couple of our friends from college that stay till the end. So
Friend of Obama, Anthony Nunez.
Thanks for having us. This has been
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think I'll add y'all to my circle now.
So we can say what you say on there. On the
Okay,
podcast.
to be fair, I didn't know that it was that.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thank
thanks for
you.
having us, y'all.
Yeah.
all.
Been fun.
Have a good one.
Later.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
This
All right.
has been an episode of I'm Open,
An ultimate frisbee
And
podcast.
a ringer, the ultimate podcast.
I'm open.
I'm open.
Buy our merch.
I'm open. Yeah, buy our merch because I'm open.